You're listening to the Back Porch Talk podcast. Danny and Jason had many discussions and debates on the back porch while making pivotal investment moves with assets. That's right, with trading cards. They welcome you to the back porch and right into those discussions about current sports news with a fresh and unique twist. So come on and join us. Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your co-host, Jason.
It's your co-host, Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today. But before we get started, y'all know what to do. Go ahead and like the show. Go ahead and subscribe to the show. Go ahead and subscribe to the show. Let the algorithm, a little NFL talk, a little MLB talk, and some NBA. But first, Danny, baseball postseason is upon us. Now, the Brewers limped in to the playoffs, boy. I tell you, they limped in. Nonetheless, they have the number one overall seed, basically. And that series against the Cincinnati Reds, the last series of the regular season, I was like, what in the world is happening? And you got to realize, and I remember driving, and I just thought, how grueling of a season is it for baseball? I got to give props for props to do to the baseball teams. The amount of travel and the amount of games, day in and day out, travel from series to series. And truth be told, man, I think, 18 games in 19 days for Milwaukee Brewers? In the month, I want to say that had to been August. I think that did it. I think that tapped them out, man. And I'm thankful that they got the number one seed because in a bye, because now they have about 5 days worth of rest. Clear mind, all that stuff. And it looks like they will face the winners of the Padres Cubs wild card, man. And come on, Padres. And the reason why I say that, Danny, is because it's not that I'm afraid of the Cubs. It's more so anything can happen in a divisional rival game in the regular season, let alone this would be in the postseason. So come on, Padres. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how the Brewers, who have got some rest, will come out. Will they come out apprehensive in terms of batting? Will they come out a little rusty? Will they come out refreshed, guns a-blazing, aggressive at the plate? How will they come out? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. So we'll see. But the rest of the series, man, the Phillies also have a bye in the National League. They will face off against the winners of the Cincinnati Reds, LA Dodgers. That's going to be a good series, too. I think the Dodgers are going to prevail there. And that's going to be interesting to see possibly the Dodgers against the Phillies. Now, Brewers against either Padres, Cubs, either one is going to be tough. All these series are going to be tough. In the American League, you have the Mariners and the Blue Jays with the bye. The heated rivalry of the Yankees and Red Sox will go on, man. And the winner of that series faces the Blue Jays. The winner of the Tigers Guardians faces the Mariners. Red Sox Yankees series is going to be, that's going to be something else. You got some good series going on. What say you, Danny, about Major League Baseball in the playoffs?
First, Jason, with the Brewers, that game one is pivotal, I believe. From a confidence standpoint, you want to be the aggressor. The team they're going to play is coming off this series. You hope it goes three games. And then with Chicago being, right up the highway, the interstate, their fans may travel well versus the Padres. So that could also influence this series a little bit too. That if the Brewers face the Cubs starting on Saturday, Either way, like you mentioned, man, it's gonna be a tough series. Woodruff is hurt, and so he's out. So that's a huge loss from a pitching standpoint. But no, man, just excited to see these series kick off today. Like you mentioned, that Reds Dodgers series, I think it may be closer than people think. The Reds are a tough, gritty group. They kind of similar to the Brewers in that fashion. They're young,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so the pressure's on the Dodgers. Cincinnati's playing with house money at this point,
Mm-hmm.
considering the Mets imploded and didn't make the playoffs. Uh, that was their spot. So Cincinnati is doing what they need to do, and like I said, going into LA, and LA's relief staff, they have been terrible this year. They've
Mm-hmm.
blown many games, so that is not a threat. So if Cincinnati can get them late in the game and get to that their relievers, that could be a big plus for Cincinnati or anyone facing the Dodgers in particular. And then on the American League side, man, Tigers, Guardians, they've been battling this team like for the last like 3 months. With the Guardians coming back to in the division, and now they're facing off against each other. Tigers did win today
Mm-hmm.
uh, to start off, so they're up 1-0. And then, like you said, Red Sox, Yankees, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about later today. Big series, and it'll be cool to see the Mariners and Blue Jays. Teams you're not familiar, seeing a
Mm-hmm.
lot with Cal
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh being the home run leader. So there'll be some eyes on some markets that are not Mariners really since like Ichiro was there, if you want to think about it that way. So yeah, it should be a great series and looking forward to seeing what's going on and seeing who the Brewers face on Saturday.
And I'll say, Danny, how cool is it that in the National League you have three teams from the NL Central,
Hmm.
going at it in the playoffs? But then how cool is it on the American League side? You have three teams from the AL East, in the playoffs, man. So this is just going to be interesting, man. Either way you look at it, it's going to be some kind of a division a rivalry that is going to add more gasoline to the fire from a divisional standpoint. So it's going to be very interesting. And now, Danny, on to a little NFL talking where week four happened this past weekend. And let me just say, um, these Packers, man, I tell you, Danny, I partially stayed up for this game. And I watched the first half. I'm gonna tell you where it really spun out of control for the Packers, and that was when Jordan Love fumbled the ball before
Hmm.
halftime. At that point in time, to me, this was going to be a stomping. This was going to be a stomping because at that point in time, I believe the score was about to it should have been 14-0, but of course another block field goal or extra point happened. Special teams gotta sure that up. But it was like 13-0 at that point in time, or 13-2,
Yep.
and the fumble happens. And let me just say that turned the game around completely, in my opinion. Uh, score ends. I mean, the game ends in a tie, and you gotta give Micah Parsons kudos for a game-saving sack in overtime. But the rest of the defense, man, I gotta say, man, as much as we've touted this defense beginning of the season, and much mossy that smelling themselves, if you will, that these Packers, especially the defense, has, the Cowboys dropped 40 on them. So what does that say?
Hmm.
Jordan Love throws for 337 yards, three touchdowns. Of course, had that crucial fumble in the first half. Jacobs had 22 carries, 86 yards, two touchdowns. And I'll just say, man, I'm glad that there is a bye week here. Packers need to shore some things up. Josh Jacobs also had 4 receptions for 71 yards, so he had an all-around good game
Hmm.
and everything. It's just that I just don't think it was enough. Offensively, it was enough. Defensively, I just don't know what happened there. They got to shore that up. I mean, Dak Prescott goes for 31 40 for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was good to see Romeo Dobbs have a huge game, 3 touchdowns. Matthew Golden, 5 catches for 58 yards. He needs to stop with the spins because he's spun a couple of times and got smashed. So this rookie needs to rethink some things, man. But I don't know, man. The Packers, a tie is a tie. Some people say a tie may be worse than a loss. I don't know. What I do know is Packers let this slip through their fingers, man, in my opinion. What say you, Danny, about this game in particular in week 4?
Yeah, that game was blown by the Packers. They had all the momentum. Dallas couldn't do anything. And I think that blocked extra point actually got them. I know they got the fumble, like you mentioned, with Love, but that at least got them on the board to give them some confidence that they can at least do something. And then to see how the Packers just folded on the defensive side of the ball, I think a tie was a blessing in this case. I think it was bad for the Cowboys because the Cowboys needed that victory. But in the Packers case, this could be when you get to the thick of the playoff race, that could be a half game ahead of somebody. So it could be a loss, but they got lucky, man. They got very lucky not to lose that game. And, all the fanfare around Micah and coming home and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a sorry showing from a defensive side of the ball. But their offense, did what they had to do and they hung in there. And Dobbs had a great game. So now y'all, like you said, y'all got the bye, and we'll see how they bounce back after the break.
A few other games of note, Danny. One game here is that of the Eagles against the Buccaneers. Both teams were undefeated. Going into this game, the Eagles prevail 31-25. The whole talk regarding AJ possibly just not getting enough touches. That's AJ Brown. He got 2 receptions for 7 yards. He wants more touches. I don't know. Baker Mayfield throws for 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts throws for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But he also has 62 rushing yards. So I don't know, Danny. I mean, Saquon Barkley, 19 carries on 43 yards, a touchdown. I don't know, man. It just feels like something is a brewing in Philadelphia. And so we'll keep our eyes on it and everything. But something definitely is brewing. Another game of note here, the Vikings and Steelers, first game in Ireland, 24-21. Steelers take the victory. It didn't start off that close. Steelers were blowing them out, but Vikings, started to make this comeback and everything. DK Metcalf catches the ball for 126 yards, 1 touchdown. And say what you want about Aaron Rodgers, man. He's still getting the job done. Not the best numbers, pedestrian, but when you have a running game, that helps too. He only throws for 200 yards and 1 touchdown. And then another game of note here, Danny, I gotta say, is the Ravens and Chiefs. This was touted as obviously, a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams were 1-2. And the big question is who's going to win? Well, that question was answered with the Chiefs prevailing 37-20. Patrick Mahomes throws the ball for 270 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think one thing of note here, Ravens, and that is the hamstring of Jackson. And so, yeah, keep your eyes on that. But, man, you got to think about the Ravens, 1-3 right now. You got to keep your eyes on them. This is a long season. At
Hmm.
the same token, it's not a long season. Cooper Rush comes in, uh, 9 for 13, 52 yards. But Lamar Jackson, man, goes out with that injury. We'll see what happens. Derrick Henry, ran the ball for 8 times for 42 yards. Xavier Worthy back from the injury here, runs the ball 2 times for 38 yards, catches the ball 5 times for 83 yards. Of course, they're going to use him, and he's just a speed demon, man. I mean, golly, just on the TV screen, you could just tell the difference in terms of speed once he gets the ball, man. So I'm certain that Kansas City Chiefs are happy to have him. What say you, Danny, about the NFL week number 4?
Jason, one point in the Chiefs Ravens game, there was a moment where Ravens were 3rd and 1, and they had Derrick Henry on the sideline. I don't know what's going on with Derrick Henry. I don't know if it's this fumbling issue because I know he's fumbled, in every game leading up to this game. But something needs to be figured out there, especially if Lamar Jackson's out, where they got to integrate Derrick Henry in to get his confidence back. Because there's no way you 3rd 1. What's the point of even having him on the team if you ain't using him in that scenario? A couple other games. I should have represented today, Jason. We back on the winning track. Atlanta Falcons win 34-27 against the Washington Commanders. Mariota did start. He came back to Atlanta, and we just gave him that L. But great game by Penix. After being benched the week before, after that despicable game when they lost 30-0, he comes back, throws for 313, 2 touchdowns. Bijan had 181 yards total offense. Great game. Pitts had a touchdown. Algier had a touchdown, 51 yards. Drake London had 8 catches for 110. So they put together a game that I thought would have happened in Carolina, but I'm glad they bounced back. And the only bad part is now they have a bye. So, and they come off that bye and they play Buffalo. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but they do get some time to game plan and hopefully get some things together for some consistency. So going into break 2-2, I prefer to have the bye later in the season, honestly. This is kind of early because then some of those teams that have those later buys, man, that gives them that extra push for the playoffs. But we'll see. So great win by the Falcons. Couple quick games here. Bears, Raiders. So talk about another block field goal. Bears win on a block field goal at the end to win 25-24. Negated Ashton Genty's 3-touchdown game where, man, they haven't been using him either. And then finally, it's like, you can throw him the ball, Gino. And he did, and he had two touchdown receptions. So big win by the Bears to go to 2-2. And then last game here is Colts and Rams. And the Rams, man, they came out firing, man, especially after that loss last week against the Eagles. And to beat the Colts, who have been hot coming in, that was a big win, 27-20, where Puka Nacua is just continuing to just dominate. So they play Thursday night against the 49ers, who are banged up. So we'll see how that game goes. But great week of football and some bad injuries too, Jason. I just want to call Malik Neighbors, torn ACL. Tyreek Hill last night, torn ACL, all kinds of stuff with his leg. It was a nasty injury. So wishing speedy recovery for both of them. It's harder for Tyreek Hill being older, but hope they bounce back next year.
Yeah, definitely well wishes there, man. And with that, Danny, a little college football, just some highlighted games here. Florida State takes an L in surprise fashion on a Friday night, 46-38 against Virginia. Virginia prevails. Another game of note here is that of Alabama and Georgia. Primetime game Saturday night where Alabama prevails. They go into Athens and beat out a Georgia team that was highly ranked, 24-21. And then also these Nittany Lions keep Nittany lining. They can't be a highly ranked team, man. Oregon Ducks, they go into Happy Valley, man, and beats up on them 30-24 in overtime. And so back to the drawing board for Penn State. This was a prime opportunity for them to go up the ranks here because you just had like a lot of teams in a top rank here just go down. So we'll see. What say you, Dan, about college football?
Yeah, Jason, there was some good games, man. All these, and then you had LSU, Ole Miss as well. Was a close one. That yeah, it was good to see some of these top teams compete. Penn State throws an interception in overtime against Oregon, and yeah, it's like Penn State's like right there, but they never can get over the hump. And I think they do just good enough where they can't fire James Franklin, who's the head coach,
Mhm.
because they're always competitive. It's just and they produce NFL players, but it's just something about the team that when that big moments and the bright lights show up, man, they something happens where they just can't pull out those games.
Mhm. Mhm.
Especially Oregon coming all the way from the West Coast.
Mhm.
That's a game you got to get. And then Alabama, man, that shocked me how they did what they did to Georgia on Georgia's home field.
Mhm.
The late game I was checking out, Jay, was Colorado and BYU. I think it was the late game, and Colorado actually was up 14-0 and ended up losing 24-21. So struggling a little bit there, but I thought it was a good game because Colorado was doing what they needed to do and just fell apart in the second half. See how some of these teams bounce back after some of these heartbreaking losses.
Yeah, and speaking of heartbreaking loss, man, let me just say this about my Florida A&M Rattlers. We did not strike. Alabama State came into Bragg Memorial Stadium and whooped up on us, man, 42-14. Yeah, I looked at this game, Danny. Let me just say there's a whole lot wrong with the team. And truth be told, if Coach Cozy doesn't turn this thing around quick, fast, and in a hurry, I believe he's going to lose the locker room. I believe he's starting to lose the fan base, quite honestly.
Hmm.
And so things have got to be done quick, fast, and in a hurry. This was a SWAC opener. The SWAC East Division is very tough. We have a very tough October schedule. We were supposed to play Mississippi Valley State on this coming Saturday in Atlanta, but that game has gotten rescheduled due to, I guess, issues between the University of Mississippi Valley State, that is, and also I believe it was some of the organizers allegedly. So just trying to get some more information, more facts. Needless to say, that Mississippi Valley State and Florida A&M game has been rescheduled to the end of November, after Thanksgiving. And so I'll just say this, man. We need the bye week. We need all the practice we can get because the way that we looked, Danny, it was terrible. And so I am thankful for this bye week for the A&M Rattlers, man, to get on the get back right track, man, because whew, something funky, something ain't right. And something got to get done right, man, to get back on track. So that's the one other game of note. One other thing, too, Danny, with regards to the NBA is upon us. We do have the start of training camp and then also the start of preseason. This Thursday, Philadelphia 76ers and New York Knicks traveling to Abu Dhabi, or excuse me, you're probably traveling before Thursday because Thursday is the game in Abu Dhabi. And then they'll play again on Saturday in Abu Dhabi. And so this is going to be interesting, Danny. The start of the season is upon us. Philadelphia 76ers, a lot of injuries. You do have Embiid looking better, looking skinny, looking in shape, but said that he's going to be able to play when he can play. And so that's the Sixers, boy. I guess to the fans, do you trust the process? Fans of the Philadelphia 76ers, do you trust the process? Because if this is what the process looked like and you trust it, oh boy, you are definitely in for a rude awakening because this process sucks, man. This process includes you all paying Joel Embiid all this money. Not only that, but the contract extension hasn't even kicked in yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel bad for the fans. I really do, man, because what was it, Danny? They initially started to this tank on purpose to get picks. They got picks. They drafted. Injuries happened. They told everybody to trust the process. Got some more picks, more drafts. Ben Simmons here, Ben Simmons gone. Got into the playoffs. Ben Simmons didn't shoot the ball. Ben Simmons is no longer there. Joel Embiid gets hurt. Joel Embiid gets an MVP. Joel Embiid, he gets hurt. Joel Embiid plays in the Olympics. Barely plays in the playoffs. He's limping on one leg.
Yep.
He signs an extension. Right now, in this year, Joel Embiid is getting paid $55 million. Next year, $57 million. Year after that, 27-28 season, $62 million. Then he has a player option for $67 million. You think he's going to decline that player option? Hell no, he ain't declining that player option, man. You kidding me? But then here's the thing, Danny. You got Paul George.
Oh, man.
He
not playoff PJ.
Hey, man, he getting paid $51 million this year, $54 next year, player option in 27-28 for $56 million. So you have two players tied up with well over $100 million of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I really don't know how the Philadelphia 76ers gets out of these contracts. I really don't. I don't think they can even waive and extend because those extensions would be for years and years and years.
Yep.
So I say that to say the East is going to be interesting to watch. And I'm really interested to see what the Sixers are going to do with these contracts. If they're going to stay put and stay packed, I feel bad for Tyrese Maxey.
Yep.
Like I would, if I was Tyrese Maxey, I would go to the front office and say, trade me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to play with Joel Embiid, who barely plays. And now you're tied up with all that money, so you can't get any additional players. Trade me.
Yep.
So we'll see, Danny, but the NBA season is upon us.
Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.